Hill.
Islam.
Not of them more,
Islam.
you know. I think he got mad at me when I told uh, Daniel Hill was assistant to Green Grand Chief. You know. Oh, you know, but we'll be okay because they're all going to come back.
Islam.
We have people that were here and Daniel Hill know, and I know, and you know, they're knocking on the door.
Islam.
I want to come back because they know, and I want you to know, this is the original Grand Battle. Islam,
Islam.
Islam,
Islam.
Islamism.
Islam.
You know, there's a lot that we have that you haven't seen. There's a lot that we have to keep secure.
Islam.
There's a lot that we have that will let others know who we are.
Islam.
People say all kinds of things. They may talk about me. I even had somebody come to me not too long ago, talking about them start on Daniel Deal now. Wanted to talk about Daniel Deal. You know? Because Daniel Deal don't agree with them. Or they don't agree with Daniel Deal. You know? But we have in our possession an original 1929 convention program. We have an original 1930 convention program. We have a 1931 convention program. We have a 1932 convention program. And yes, we even have a 1933 convention program. And you know what else? Know what? Nobody else has that. Nobody else has that. You know, I pushed the finger and she tall and tall and tall and he got sick. And he told my grandmother, who was his wife, he said, I think I want to go down to Mississippi and be with my family for a little while. And he went down to Wilkerson, Mississippi. And he was down there for a while and they called my grandmother and they said, we think he's getting worse. His condition is taking a turn for the worse. Of 1934, they held this funeral. The funeral of my first Supreme Grand Chief. And they read his obituary. And they took his obituary and they handed it to my grandmother after they read it. And she put it in her pocketbook. And you know who has Brother Emilio's funeral obituary? We do.
Islam.
My uncle, Austin Brown Bay, on July the 27th, 1929, stood up in Pythian Temple at 3737 State Street and read the proper funeral obituary. And when he finished reading it, he put it into his attaché case. And you know what? You know who has the proper funeral obituary? We do.
Islam.
Even in January of 1932, when my uncle, Austin Brown Bay, was the secretary of Temple Number 1, changed form as his funeral obituary was living. You know who has this feeling that you have? We do. You know, there are things that we can use as evidence to prove who we are.
Islam.
I'm gonna tell you another thing I did, and I'm gonna be quiet because we're running behind schedule. As a good friend of mine, his name is Aileen Hopkins Bennett. And I know some of you know him. And I like something that he said to me one time. Adrian said to me, he said, you know, one day we're gonna have to come back together because we used to all live in the same house. But you know, when the prophet takes form, the same one who was causing confusion continues to cause confusion. And we split into three parts. There was those who were going to stick with the prophet and the prophet's way of doing things, and they stuck with Brother Emilio. And they were not, per se, the majority. There were those who wanted to do away with the general law. There were those who wanted to do away with the supreme law. And they gravitated toward Brother C. Kirkland Bay, who was party to a secret meeting that was held in August of 1929. And there were even those Moors who, when the prophet was laying in his casket on July the 27th, 1929, there were even those that what they wanted was another prophet. And they gravitated toward a Moor called Johnny Gibbons Hill.
Islam.
And we split into three parts. But over the next few years, we're going to work at coming back together.
Islam.
Those of us who lived in that same house, we're going to try to come back together.
Islam.
But there are some that I will not sit at the same table with. I will not sit at the same table with somebody who has been lawfully and legally removed from law by this grand body. Like a blood war thing. I'm not gonna be sitting at the table. People just come along and say, "Well, I'm the Supreme Grand Chief." Well, come on, cut it out. You know, somebody told me that they could count about 5 or 6 Supreme Grand Chiefs nowadays. You know, well, we can't deal with that. There's one original grand body, and we can hold our own, and we're going to do it. I know we're behind schedule. I know that there's, you know, I think I'm the oldest boy here today.
I think that's pretty sick, yes.
And I've been sick for about the last week. Well, I came out yesterday and I couldn't stay all day. I had to leave, and I don't think I'm going to be able to stay all day today. I'm going to have to go home and get in the bed. But, you know, it was, give me a hand. Are you a Roman?
Pardon me?
Are you a Roman?
A Roman?
Yes.
Asian.
You're Asiatic born?
Yes.
Okay.
My parents immigrated from Lebanon.
Remember that? Okay, you know, the year was 1927.
Give me a hug, man.
February 1927. I had an aunt. She was married to my grandmother drunk, and she heard about, somebody told her about a prophet who was telling our people that they were not Negroes. And they told her he was teaching at this building around at 3140 Indiana. I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned that location to you. It's called Unity Hall. And she ran around there that evening. It's a Friday evening. And she heard our prophet Noble Ali speak. And she joined the movement, the temple, that night. And she came home, and it was her husband and her two children, and my grandmother and my grandmother's two children. They all lived together. And it took her about 2 weeks to get them to come out to the temple to hear Noble Drew Ali speak. And they all joined the movement that night. And then my father joined the movement the next year in the first part of May. My mother and father got married May the 12th, 1928. But when I was born, my great-grandparents, my grandparents, and my mother and father were all card-carrying Moors. They had been Baptists, but they came back into Islamism, is what we call it. You know, we deal with the practice and teachings of Islam, and we call our religion Islamism. Right. And we're the Moorish temple of the Moorish American nation of North America. They told me a couple of days ago that you were around. I think they said a European man down in the lobby wants to come up.
How are you?
But you're Lebanese.
Yes.
Okay.
Born in Canada.
Born in Canada. Okay, well,